What is going on, guys? My name is Brendan.
As you all know, it's Chris, aka Toefur.
And we are the Septic Bros. Now, today we have a very interesting video. It has to do with gaming in general and how society views gaming. And we're going to do a little bit of analysis over the last 30 years or so we can really dive in and understand what it means for society and gaming's future. So, we look at gaming as the new frontier of the world and of society. Now, gaming has allowed us to discover passions in ourselves that we would have never understood if gaming had not been an option. Now, not only does gaming allow us to have passions, it also allows us to connect with people all across the globe, including Bulgaria. Now, not only that, one more thing here, Toefur, is that gaming has allowed people to make an incredible amount of money, you know, where people can not only play for fun and make enough to go to the grocery store and feed themselves, but they can make it where they have so much wealth that they don't have to work another day in their life. How much?
How much?
A plethora. That's how much, bud.
A plethora. So I want you guys to know this is 100% all our opinions. Some of these you might take as facts, but these are just our opinions. Just our opinions about what making gamers cool again. That's what it's about.
So the structure of this video is going to be broken down into 4 different parts. The first part is going to be talking about, arcades and that type of era. The next is going to be talking about the home consoles. And then the next is going to be the transition to online gaming and how YouTube and Twitch came into that. And then the more current day, the last 2 to 3 years that we've been dealing with. So Toefur, if you want to take that first, you can go on ahead, bud.
Yeah, dude. So the first one, arcade gaming. Man, this is classic nostalgia. The first gaming frontier for us to talk about. It's Dig Dug, Galaga, Pac-Man,
Pinball,
all those classic games. Pinball. It was. This was sort of like a date scene to go. Like you would go to local like burger joint, and then you have the pinball machine. You have Pac-Man, Dig Dug, all there, and it was like, yo, who's got the highest score? And everybody in the community would come and like fight for the highest score. And it was like, oh, Reggie's got the highest score. No, Toefur's got the highest score. Holy cow, Brandon just beat their highest score. And it was like, oh, dude, that's a bad memory jam, but you don't mess with that.
You can't do it, man. And it was like you were in a public setting. You were being social. You were playing some games, but you were just hanging out with everyone. And you know that just was pretty. Yeah. It was pretty acceptable back in the day. Your parents knew what you were doing. The law knew what you were doing. And then we had the transition into home consoles. So now people no longer had to go into a public setting to play video games. They could sit on their own couch. They could be eating hot dogs and popcorn. But the difference with this is that they weren't in a public setting, but they still had friends or people coming over, and they could play in the comfort of their own home, right? So it wasn't as public, but in a sense there was still this public setting that if you wanted to play with a friend, you had to physically be near him. And this, I guess, in society's perspective, was still pretty acceptable because, you know, you're not just sitting there by yourself and doing nothing, but you're also, you could be pushed, you know, your parents might come in there and be like, hey, you guys, like, why don't you guys go out and do something, you know? So,
go outside.
Go outside. It's raining outside, mother. Oh, Jesus. And then that leads us into the next segment when these home consoles no longer were just sitting there and you had to have your friends come over, but now they went online. So, Toefur, you want to touch on that?
The online section, in between online and the commercial and like home gaming, this is where I joined in. Like, I started on the GameCube, right? 64. Playing with my friends. It was very competitive, but once I got the PS2 and Battlefront 2, I didn't even know online gaming was an option. And it was free, and then they moved, then I got my Xbox 360. Oh my god, Halo 3 competitive online was unreal. They had matchmaking, custom games, zombie game mode. You play with your friends, you get 16 people, 8 people, and you were just having loads of fun, being able to connect with your friends and people from anywhere, Netherlands, Germany,
Bulgaria,
Europe, and you just get to play with them and get to enter Bulgaria, Chernobyl, get to interact with people that you never would have the opportunity to. And then the competitive scene started to grow with this aspect of online gaming.
Right, and so basically when that happened, you no longer had to be next to anyone. So you still had that sense of a public realm because you were online talking, but people in the rest of society didn't see it as such. They viewed it as now kids don't go outside, right? All they do is sit in their room and just play video games and then talk to strangers. So you've seen this broken down, transition of being in a public setting to being in a private setting with still public aspects to now being in a completely dominated private section. And what happened here was we saw like the YouTube and Twitch rise up, right? Where people now had the opportunity to start making some money and make this more into entertainment and a competitive scene. All about the money. And society is driven by money. If people are wondering about something, is this a viable, career path? They're going to say, show me the money. And then, I hate to say this, guys, and you guys can completely disagree with me, but Epic Games launching Fortnite, the competitive scene, Twitch, that turned the entire game around. Society now, no, not Fortnite. Dislike.
Not Fortnite.
But society now viewed this as, oh my goodness, you can make a whale of amount of money doing video games. You can really people are training their kids now. They're paying them for Fortnite coaches. They're paying them for Rocket League coaches so that they can be successful. People no longer.
Shout out Jansky, my Rocket League
They
coach.
no longer care if you're outside throwing a baseball because they just want you to be successful. And now society looks at this as no longer, an arcade, oh, they're just going out to have fun. This, as society can view it, is an opportunity for people with talent that may not have been recognized if video games were not at this level to really succeed in their life at a completely different level. And I mean, you can take...
Would you get a coach for your son, B?
Would I get a coach for my son? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
What I would do with my son is...
Why not?
Oh, I'd send him outside, I'd throw a baseball and a glove at him, and then I'd just shut the door and say, see you in 3 hours. And he'd look at me like there's no one outside. I gotta go play with the neighbor. But he's just playing Rocket League.
Play with the stray cats and dogs outside.
It builds character, but that's what it does.
Oh, geez.
But we, breaking that down one more time, Toefur. Public to private with public to private to online private. And that's the funny thing. Toefur and I were kind of discussing this before this. No longer do people just sit in a room by themselves. They watch other people sit in rooms by themselves. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing. You're both lonely.
But honestly, the community that we have built on the Septic Bros channel is absolutely crazy.
Yes.
You guys are the reason that we
asinine.
keep pushing to do this. We're very busy, but Toefur has really put a lot of effort into the editing on this video. So if you guys like Toefur, you like what he's done with this video, Toefur, what should they do, bud?
Yep, they should go join the Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and if you really guys want to see like behind the scenes or something like that, leave a comment and a like saying you would love to see one, and create a Snapchat for the Septic Bros because we're thinking about it. Ooh.
All right, guys. Well, this is going to be a wrap for this video. We'd like to thank you guys all.
Yep.
We love you all. Peace.
Shout out Michael B, baby. All right, ciao.